Hello and welcome to the Constipation smartphone app. This daily bowel diary can track your bowel symptoms. It is scientifically validated and can accurately record your bowel habit in the privacy of your own home. The app has 18 screens. It should take no more than 2 to 3 minutes to complete the diary. Let me walk you through the steps on how to use this app and record your symptoms. First, search for the Constipation Stool app in the App Store or Google Play and download this app to your smartphone. You'll recognize this purple icon, but please note that the app looks different in the Apple Store and Google Play. Next, open the app. It's going to ask you to create a username and a password. So let's go ahead and create that. The first screen asks for the HIPAA waiver. Please look through it and click Agree. Next is the very first screen of the Constipation app. Here you'll enter all the medications that you take daily. For example, if you take a baby aspirin every single day, then you're going to enter the name aspirin, the dose, and when you take it, like after supper, for example. Now, if you take multiple drugs, touch the Add button. A new screen will pop up, and you can enter the next drug. Once you've entered all your medications, hit the Save button to move on to the next screen. You only have to enter your medication list once, the very first time you use the app. This screen won't pop up anymore. This is the welcome page. From now on, every time you log in, this is the first screen that you will see. And this screen presents 4 options. Today's diary is the option you'll choose every day and every time you record your bowel movement. If you experience several bowel movements in a single day, please remember to record every bowel movement by returning to the app. Past entries, if you want to check past entries, review your bowel record, or print out a report, then you should touch this box, and we'll review this function at the end of our presentation. Change password, if you want to change your password or login information, go ahead and touch here. And log out. If you want to log out of the app and not enter any information, hit the logout box. We encourage you to stay logged in for the entire period, 4 weeks or 3 months, to save you from having to log in each time you have to record your bowel movement. If you accidentally hit the logout box, don't worry. Go back to the Constipation Stool Diary icon on your phone and log in once again using your login credentials. Now let's go through the app. Choose Today's Diary. On this screen, choose Yes if you had a bowel movement today. If not, choose No. An accurate daily record is really important, so even if you had no bowel movement, you should try to make an entry at least once a day in the app. The app will automatically remind you at 6 and 8 p.m. every day. By selecting No on this screen, you can exit the app. After selecting Yes or No, hit the flickering blue arrow at the bottom of the screen. Here, record the time of your bowel movement. First, touch the box, Please click here to enter time. You'll see a pull-down menu where you can scroll up and down. Using this pull-down menu and scrolling up or down, first pick the hour and then pick the minute of the day separately, noting exactly when the event happened. The hours are shown in a 24-hour format, so if you had a BM at 6 p.m., you'll select 1800 hours. Next, you scroll up or down in the minutes column and select the minute when the event began, for example, 30 minutes. Then press on the flickering blue arrow at the bottom of the screen to move to the next screen. Here, record how long you spent on the toilet to pass stool. Press on the drop-down menu and record how many minutes you spent on the toilet. Say, for example, 10 minutes. Press the blue arrow. This screen with multiple stool forms is also called the Bristol stool chart. Here, you're going to record the stool form or stool consistency of your bowel movement. There are 7 different stool forms. You can select only one option, so pick the one that most closely represents the bulk of your bowel movement. Stool form can vary during a bowel movement, so say, for example, it varies between types 1 and 4. Use your best judgment to pick the predominant stool form. Then press the flickering blue arrow. Here, choose one of 4 options to describe how much you had to strain to pass your bowel movement. For example, if you passed your stool easily, please select normal. If you had to strain a little to pass your BM, please select mild. If you had to use a moderate amount of effort to pass stool, choose moderate. Or if you had to strain excessively to pass stool, please select severe. Next, press the blue arrow. Here, you will record yes if you felt completely empty and satisfied with your bowel movement. Or if you're not completely empty and satisfied and felt there was still some stool left inside, select no. Press the blue arrow to proceed. On this screen, you'll record the amount of stool you passed when you had your bowel movement. There are 5 options for you to choose, and you can select only one option. For example, if you passed less than your usual amount of stool, select less than usual. Press the blue arrow. Here, you will record yes if you had to use your fingers or any other digital maneuvers to assist your bowel movement. If not, select no and press the blue arrow. This screen records if you needed some assistance with starting a bowel movement. Now, you have 5 options here, and you can select one or more than one option. For example, if you used a laxative and an enema today, you can select both options. If you select Other, you can describe this on a separate screen that'll be coming up shortly. After making your selection, press the blue arrow to proceed. This screen records the amount of gas you passed today. You have 4 options. Select none or normal if you passed your usual amount of gas today. Select mild if you passed slightly more gas today. Select moderate or severe if you passed moderately excessive or severe amounts of gas today. Then press the blue arrow to proceed. You are almost done. Here, you will record if you felt bloated or your belly felt full or distended, and you have 4 options. Please select one of the 4. If you had severe bloating, for example, select severe and press the blue arrow. Here, please record all medications you have used today to help your bowel problem, including prescription medications. Choose yes or no if you took any laxative or used an enema or suppository. Next, you see a list of commonly prescribed medications. For each drug option, you must choose yes or no. For example, if you only took PEG or Miralax today, then choose yes for this option and no for all other options. You'll see the screen only once a day, and this list is really important to determine whether your bowel movement was spontaneous or not. Next, press the blue arrow to proceed. You're getting close to the finish line. Here, record any additional medications you had to use today to help your bowel problem, such as any herbs or fiber supplements. Don't list your usual medications here, but only any additional medications you took today. Next, press the flickering blue arrow to proceed. This is your chance to add a comment about your bowel problems, especially if this wasn't captured in the previous screens. For example, if you had a bad day with excessive straining and multiple hard stools and used enemas, please describe that here. Next, press the blue arrow to proceed. This is the last screen. You've successfully completed all entries for the Constipation Stool Diary. Congratulations and thank you. Please exit the stool diary by pressing Exit Stool Diary. Now, one final thing. Let's review how you can retrieve past entries and how you can generate a report. To do this, you must return to the very first screen on the app. In order to generate a report, you need to have completed at least 2 weeks of stool diary records before you can look at the past entries. Press the Stool Diary Report. On this screen, first you must choose a start date and an end date for the baseline period in the very first box that says Choose Baseline Dates. Please remember you need to select a period of either 7 days or 14 days. For example, if you started recording your app on October 1st, then press the start date and a calendar will pop up. Now scroll up or down and select the month and the date as shown. Then press Done. Next, hit the end date and pick October 7th and Done again. Now you've chosen the period for generating a stool diary report for the baseline dates. If you want to choose a second period, press the next box that says Choose Treatment or Optional Date. For example, you may want to find out how you're responding to a treatment. So once again, pick a new start date, like December 1st, and pick an end date, like December 7th. Now close this window by hitting Done. Although you've picked 2 separate periods for your report, at any one time the Stool Diary app can only display a report for one of the 2 periods. So you can choose the baseline period or the treatment period. Next, press the blue arrow. This screen displays a summary report of your baseline stool diary. First, you'll notice on the screen the number of days for the report. Next, you'll notice the average values for a number of measurements, such as the number of bowel movements per week, the number of days someone forgot to enter a record, what time of day the bowel movements occurred, and the average stool consistency. That is the number of stools that were various types on the Bristol stool scale. Farther down, you'll notice the amount of stool passed. Finally, you'll see some important measurements, such as the number of complete spontaneous bowel movements, or CSBM, which is an important measure of constipation. If you want to print this information or mail it to your provider, you can do so by hitting the Send in Mail option at the bottom of the screen. I hope you liked this educational video of the Constipation Stool Diary app. If you have any further questions or comments, please feel free to email admin@neurogut.com or go to our website, neurogut.com. Thank you so much and goodbye.